All right, people, Mr. Wright here with lesson 20 for the trombone. In the next 5 lessons, the band director or your group, if you're working with a group, would be focusing on the clarinet section because they're going over their break, they're sealing off all these tone holes on their clarinets using their fingertips. And it just takes a little bit of practice. And so what you want to do is encourage your clarinet buddies to really master this, to practice it. It's not that hard, but it just takes a little practice to do it. In the meantime, we're going to be working on some notes in the high register, notes that the clarinets will also be playing exact pitches. But this is not new notes really for you, because in lessons 19.1, 2, and 3, we worked on these. I introduced these notes to you already. So I just kind of did those lessons to kind of get you ready for this one so that it wouldn't hit you so hard. In this, we do change our key signature just a bit. We've got in our key signature B flat. All of our B's are B flat in first position. All of our E's, this E space right there, there's a flat on it, making all of our E's E flat, which is this top note up here. And then we have a flat on our A space. And if it's on the A space, it also applies to all the A's wherever they may occur. So that's also going to apply to this first note here. It's going to make this, what used to be an A natural in second position right here, is going to be lowered a half step to third position right before the bell, just like that E flat was. Same position. So you're just going to go from A natural to A flat. Another little helpful hint that will help you is that notice again, now that we've got an A flat in third position, if the note is stabbed by either a ledger line or a staff line, it's going to be in third position. How convenient is that? So this is in third position. It's in a space, so it's first. It's stabbed by a ledger line, so it's in third. It's in a space in between ledger lines, so it's first position, and so on. This third one right there, it's third position. So notice that pattern once again. So that's why I call this the easiest scale on the clarinet, trumpet, and trombone, because on the trumpet, the finger patterns, it's mainly first and open, except for 1A, vowels 1 and 2. And on clarinet, you're going straight up the clarinet, picking up one finger at a time. So for these instruments, it's a very easy scale. And on trombone, when we play it, most of the positions in this scale will be either in third position or first. You just kind of go back. The same things like on the trumpet. There's one note, you'll play a G in fourth position, but the rest of it's all in first and third positions. So, and you want to drill yourself on these notes and just memorize them. This is an A flat. This is a B flat, a C, D, E flat. If you got this key signature, okay? So you got to pay attention to that key signature every time you look at a new piece of music. So let's just play these notes right here. So let's just play these top few notes. I'm going to play them as if they were half notes, not whole notes. 1, 2, 3. Okay? But of course, if we're doing an E flat scale, we'll start down lower on an E flat. So that's why it sounded a little bit unusual right there, kind of like A flat Lydian mode. But as we ascend higher, remember, you want to flex your lip muscles up against the teeth. You tighten them up against the teeth, and to create a shorter vibrating surface, then you're going to push some faster air over an arched tongue. Now, if you cannot hit these high notes right away, just play the lower octave, okay, until you feel comfortable jumping up to that upper note right there. Right here, I don't really give you a chance, or choice, I should say. But let's try number 1, just half notes, and then we get to the second line. This is 2 lines long because it's just a single bar here. We have the final bar, double bar right here. But right here, we're going to go up the scale. And as we come down this scale right here, if you're doing the upper octave, yay for you, but it'd be 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, fourth position, right? And at G to first position, back to that 3, 1, 3, 1, C, because there's 1, 3 again. And then as you're going up, 3, 1, 4, then after that, easy. It goes 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, fourth position G, 1, 3. So, like for instance, if I was going to play this measure, starting the last note of measure 6 on that A flat, it'd be like that. But we're starting on an E flat. So I'm going to start on the top note, number 1, on that high E flat, the E flat, except it's up an octave. So here we go, number 1. 1, 2, tongue the first note. Now, if you were starting at measure 6, going to jump that octave there, it would sound like this. You just go. Like that. It just kind of dips down to that lower octave in case you're wanting to do that. But like again, these high notes are something for you to work on while the clarinets are working on sealing off every one of those fingers. See, to play this number 1, all they're doing is just starting off with their thumb on their F, then putting down one finger at a time. And it's super important they learn how to seal off each one of those little holes on the clarinet so that when they do hit the register key, those notes will sound. Number 2 right here, same basic idea, just coming down. This is really designed to help our clarinets learn to seal off each one of those tone holes, of course. And you can do the lower octave if you have to, but I would encourage you to try and remember those rules I listed up top for hitting the higher notes. You don't want to pinch your lips together, making yourself go sharp and getting a nasty sound. What you want to do is firm up the lips up against the teeth. So here comes number 2. 1, 2, 3. Number 3 right here, this is the concert E flat scale, and it has the arpeggio at the end where we play every other note, but then we jump, after we hit the 5th, we jump up to the octave again, then come back to the 5, the 3, and the 1 again. I'm talking about scale degrees, not positions, all right? So you start off with this E flat in 3rd position, and the only note that's not in 1st and 3rd is this G here in 4th position. That's why this is the easiest scale to play on a trombone. So here comes number 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and by the way, if you're just barely blowing air, like say if I played just barely blow air, you're going to have to put some air through the horn. Your lips have to have something to work with. So make sure you're putting some air through the horn, all right? Now we're looking at number 4. We got some rhythms back from lesson 14. 1 and a 2, 3 and a 4. 1 and a 2, 3 and a 4. Then we turn this rhythm around backwards, like the second half of lesson 14, where it goes da 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 da, or 1E and 2, 3E and 4, 1E and 2, 3E and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So it's da 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 da. Dee da da da, dee da da da, dee da da da, dee da da da. Then straight 8th notes, easy there. Okay, so da da, da, da. Use your tongue. Don't try to go, Don't do that. Ready, number 4. 1, 2, 3. Then, a cool one here, number 5, it goes 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 3, 1, 3, 3, 1, 3. So it's just back and forth between third position and first position. So you got to use your tongue. Using your tongue makes this so much easier. Da 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 da. So number 5. 1, 2. And then number 6, the old stall in the middle of the beat trick. Flashback from lesson 16. Dee-dun da dun dun da dun da dum. Dee-dun da dun dun da dun da da. Da dun da dun dun da dun da dum. Da dun da dun dun da dun da dum. Dun 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3, 4. Now I'm singing it down an octave because I'm just tired. Okay, so here comes number 6. Dee da 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 dee da da da. 1, 2, 3. Also, as you're playing, you want to make sure you're opening up the inside of your mouth. You know, da da da. Oh, like you're yawning. All right, because if you go do do do, if you got your tongue real high in your mouth, it's going to have that kind of a nasty sound to it. Like the number 7. I got my tongue real high in my mouth. So if you're getting that kind of sound, don't do that. You're going to go. I'm going da 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 da. Now I'm not singing. I'm just da da da. Open up the inside of your mouth. In other words, okay. Don't go do 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 do. Yep. Like here's closed off. Like tongue real high in the mouth. That's nasty. Then I'm gonna open up the inside of my mouth. Now, you don't want to move your jaw. You don't go, dwa, 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 dwa. No. Keep the jaw still. Open up the inside of your mouth. Like I'm going to pull away from my mouth, the mouthpiece. I'm going to, see that big gap right there? I can put my thumb right there between my teeth and my lips. You'll see, as soon as I get ready to play, I'll pull my lips and teeth apart. Sometimes I'll use my tongue to space my lips apart. I'm not, that's not the way I tongue. No, I don't do that. I'm just making sure everything's spaced apart so there's plenty of room in there so I can get a good tone. Right? As opposed to my lips and teeth are mashed together. Because I gotta be here to play them high notes. No, you want everything spaced apart. When you go for high notes, you're just flexing your lips up against the teeth, and it still remains open. Number 7. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And it does the same thing all the way through. And then except just little different patterns right here. Except right here, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. You get the idea. So dun 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 dun. Now do 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 do. When you play, it should be just a single note should be like, wow, that's so beautiful. When you play with tone quality like that, when I started playing that as a junior in high school, after I started taking lessons from Durrell Sanderson, the first trombone player from the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra, 1980, as soon as I started playing with this open sound that he taught me to do, I remember everybody behind me just turning around and looking at, because they couldn't believe it. It was like, wow, this big, beautiful sound. So that's what you want. Every sound that you play, every note that you play, just has a gorgeous round tap, not like that. Okay, here's number 7. Talking too much. 1, 2, 3. I'm starting each note with a da tongue, okay? Then number 8, concert E flat scale, and 8th notes. Da 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 da. Right? Okay? And here comes number 8. 1, 2. Different rhythm here. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and a 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and 3. And I do follow that same pattern throughout the whole thing, except I start coming down, right? So here comes number 9. Da 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 da. You got to use your tongue. Don't go Ready? Here we. Now, let me tell you a secret. I'm not reading every one of these notes. I know you're shocked and amazed, or maybe not, I don't know. What I'm doing is, see, I know this scale, the E flat scale. Most of it is, I know the scale, right? At the bottom of it, it's just that G there, okay? So I know the scale. I know the notes that are in the scale. And the arpeggio too. What I'm doing is I say, okay, I'm done, da da, and then I kind of just look for the mountain peak that I got to go to. I know that I'm playing 8th notes, so I'm just going up this little mountain here, and I'm coming back down the mountain. I'm moving down in stepwise motion, so therefore I don't have to read all these little notes in between. I'm going down this little valley, down in the valley, and then I come right back up to this mountain peak, hanging out on a half note for 2 beats, and then while I'm holding that half note for 2 beats, my mind jumps my eyes jump over here, and I'm doing this little pattern, one and I pop up on that G right there, and then just up a little bit, and so I'm just kind of analyzing it, but I don't have to read all these little notes in between. I'm just like, and when I hit this half note, well, my eyes jump over here, because I'm counting that half note duration, and I come over here and I'm doing that same little pattern, just starting right here, so I know I'm repeating that G right there, and that's the way it works. It's also up here on these other exercises. I don't have to read all these notes. I just know that I'm starting on a quarter note E flat, and I'm coming up straight in eighth notes, following that scale pattern. And I go to the top, land on a one beat E flat, I give it a whole beat, and then I move down in eighth notes. So when you know your scales, when you have them memorized, you become a better sight reader. You look at your key signature and you say, oh, this is the gear that I'm in. That's the scale that I'm in. Those are the notes I have to choose from. And so if I see an ascending passage, I don't have to read all those little notes in between. So when you see somebody just blazing through stuff that they're sight reading, that's the mental process that they're using to not overload their processor. You're using the information they have to, and they just kind of bypass all the clutter that they don't need. All right? So it's not that their processor is much faster than yours. They've just got the scale memorized of that key. But it gets trickier, though, when you've got accidentals thrown in, sharps and flats, and different articulation that you got to pay attention to. So sometimes you really have to slow down and kind of pay attention to that and say, oh, wow, okay, and take those things into consideration. The sight reading becomes a little more difficult, and especially if you've got a lot of articulation things, here and there, which is, it's in music, but you learn how to kind of process that too, kind of look ahead and notice where that's coming. And there's some things that are just kind of intuitive. You kind of know where it's going to do, once you get the feel of the piece. And so hopefully this will kind of give you an idea as to why it's so important for you to learn this key of concert E flat with three flats, that it's like third position, first position city in the upper register. All right, and you just got that one G out there in fourth position. That one G, but after that it's like smooth sailing. So take advantage of that, and so memorize that scale, these notes, where you're stopping at when you hit those mountain peaks and the valleys, and then you'll become just a killer sight reader. So hopefully this will help you get a good grasp of lesson 20 for trombone.